Here we're going to draw a whole floor plan from scratch using the new version of Metropix. So once you've logged in, you'll be on the My Plan screen. Select New Floor Plan on the top left corner. Enter the address of the property that you're looking to draw on the given day and hit Next. It will run a quick search for you, so before you press ahead, have a look at the results below. Here you'll get the nearby properties within the street, sometimes an exact match. So you can click onto these results to use them as a template. Real-time saver, so very good to call upon, and make sure you're checking this list before you draw the whole thing from scratch. So take a look through and you can adjust them entirely. Any changes you wish to make, you're very free and welcome to do so. That would be cheating today. It's one thing to be aware of, but we're going to make a whole plan from scratch. So we press Start Drawing Now to begin. This loads the drawing screen. This is the brand new version of Metropix. I'm very excited to share this with you, and lots of efficiencies which we're going to see in the flesh today. So if we scan through the top bar, you've got a few new menu options. New floor plan if you wish to start over, start from scratch. Undo and redo. Floor area will build as you draw the floor plan, so you'll see that in real time. It's no longer hidden until the end. You'll get to see that as you build. Save unfinished plan, the disk icon. The tick is the plan complete button, and settings has a few more choices in as well. We won't go into those just yet. We'll focus on the core drawing aspects firstly. On the left side, we've got add room at the top. We click it and it turns orange to show that it's activated. We can now take this red cursor, left click and hold, and draw the first room onto the plan. Once you're happy with it, we release the click and it brings up this labeling box. So we're going to go hallway, and you can choose from the most popular labels within. So let's go with entrance hall, and there we are. Click away, add room again. We've got our red cursor once more. It's no good drawing the plan over the next room over here. We want it all attached to the existing room. So placing it on the entrance hall is your best bet. Left click and hold, and then you can draw it so it's all attached and in full. We release the clip when we're happy. We'll go reception. You've got lounge, living room, the most popular within here, but a few other choices as well. Any point you can click into the top box and edit your own labels freely also. But let's go with living room and then away. Add room, left click and hold, draw the kitchen. Add room again, left click and hold, and we'll draw reception and dining room. There we go. So very quickly, we've drawn a layout of 4 rooms. Didn't take long at all. From here, you can customize it further. So you'll notice I've drawn square and rectangular shaped rooms. Will happen in many cases, but sometimes you will get something a bit irregular. L shapes are very common. So where they occur, you can place your mouse onto the wall. Let's say the dining room has an L shape. Click onto the wall where you'd like the split to begin. It then brings up the internal wall option. So internal wall here, you can split wall, and it adds a dot to the plan. That separates this wall in two. We can then pull up and down to make different shapes. And there we go. We'll use that shortly as well, actually. It's very useful for bay windows and other things, so we will come back to that. But there's our layout. So from here, we want to then put some internal detail. Everything on the left side is the basic symbols we have available. As you hover your mouse on top, it will give you a label to show you the item that you're looking at. So let's start with the door. Left click and hold, drag the door on, move it to any wall you like. Once it's in the right spot, just release the click. That now sticks. Drag another door. You can see I'm leaning in and out of the entrance hall and then to the living room. As I pull my cursor, it changes the opening direction for me, so you can get that spot on. Very worthwhile to do. It's the kind of thing a vendor might call up about and say, oh, my door's opening the wrong way, can you change it? And of course you must. It doesn't take any extra time really to get it right first time. Let's just have that extra care to enforce that early on so you don't have to revisit it later for a silly reason. So there's our door. Drag another door to the kitchen. Double doors to the outside for the dining room. Perhaps the kitchen dining room is open plan. We've got an opening symbol, so if you want to delete a section of wall, this is ideal. Drag that on, click the dot, and you'll then have these options to resize it. You can use the opening width on the right, the minus and the plus symbols, and that will go 1 centimeter at a time. I recommend to use the grey squares, they're much faster. So you can just drag those up and down accordingly. And there we go. So there's our opening. You can also drag the opening. It doesn't need to sit central. You can move it around as well. Once you've got the correct size in place, you can pull that accordingly. Okay, so there's our doors. We've got our window symbol, only one symbol, so nice and easy. Just drag that on, click onto the dot, drag the square. And one of the new things with Metropix is the way that the windows, or the symbols for that matter, they adjust. Once you place them on, if you click onto the symbol to resize, it drags the size that you're moving, or the side that you're moving rather. So it's a much quicker way of doing it now. So you just place it onto at one point and then you can drag it across to the finishing point, then it's done, rather than place it on, adjust both sides and then position it afterwards. Much, much quicker. Okay, let's say the living room has a bay window. We left click where the bay starts, split wall, left click where it finishes, split wall again. You can then place your mouse in between to take that middle section of wall and pull that down. Here you can take these white dots in the corners, they'll turn red as you select over them, and you can pull those inwards to get the angle correct as well. From here you can slide the windows on, and like I say, place it so that one side is correct, so the left is correct. Now click it, and you can drag it so that the right is correct as well, and then we're done. Very quick. Okay, so there's our full layout. From most of our customers, they will put in the doors and the windows, some of which will then go on to put fitted items. I'd say about 85% of users will go on to put the fitted items in. So that's your kitchens and your bathroom items in the main. It goes as far as living room sofas, dining tables, but they're there if you need them. I'd advise that they're not an essential part of the floor plan, so the fitted items should be the focus, and everything else is nice to have if a vendor really wants it, perhaps. Okay, so taking the kitchen, we've got the base unit icon. That's a nice one to begin with. Click onto it and we can drag to extend the size. Drag another one across here. There we are. You could also have one on the other side. They don't need to be connected. They can be separate as well. And there's our units. From here you can put your other items. So you've got a hob that can slide on there. We've got a sink, but perhaps you don't want this sink. So you can click onto it, press delete, more symbols at the bottom. Everything's in room order. So we take kitchen, and now you'll see a lot more choice. So there's a half sink and a drainer, so we can place that on instead. And that's what we wanted. Perfect. So we hit back, and that takes us to the basic symbols view once more. This is page 1 of 2, so you can press this arrow to scroll to the next page. And there's a few more choices there. So there's like a fireplace. Very nice to show where they exist. Some blocks also, so if you have a void area, you wish to show that on the floor plan. Typically maybe a chimney breast perhaps on the bedroom above the living room might eat into the bedroom one space, so you could denote that with the block symbol as well. Okay, so we're just popping a downstairs loo as well. If we add room, left click and hold, and we'll just draw that here. Bathroom, WC, there we go. Add on the door. We want a window as well, make that a bit smaller. That comes across to the side there over the toilet. Pop in the toilet, and then a sink very quickly. Okay. From here, we can now put the stairs in. With the old version of Metropix, you'd have to put the next floor in, draw a landing area, and then go through a mini questionnaire to get the stairs in place. All in all, it was probably about a 30+ second process to get your stairs in. And from here, we've changed it. If you press stairs on the top left side, all of the stairs now behave like a symbol. So all of the units, windows, doors, sinks that we've worked with so far, the stairs now represent that same behavior. So let's say we've got a straight staircase going up. We just drag that on. Place it there. If you want to, you can then make it longer and shorter as well, wider. So you've got absolute control over how your stairs appear. And there we go. Don't worry too much that it's overlapping the entrance hall. We can adjust that very quickly later with one of the new features that we have as well. So you just drag the stairs in for the ground floor and then we're done. While we're here, we can press on the compass on the top right corner. You'll see it's faded out at the moment. If I click it, it's active. I can then spin it 360 degrees to choose which way north is in relation to the plan, as we see. And there we go. If you decide you don't want the compass, you just click it again and it grays out. So if it's grey, it's inactive. If it's dark, it will be live on your floor plan. So we'll leave it on just to show how that appears. But here we are, we're ready. We finished the ground floor. We can now move up to the next level. So we're halfway there. We press floors on the top left corner again. We're on the ground floor, which is ticked. We can add a floor above or below. So maybe you have a lower ground floor or a basement stroke cellar. If you want to show anything lower, you can certainly add it. So add floor below to do that. I'm going to stick with the most common scenarios today. So we're going to add a floor above, which will be our first floor. We're now on the first floor straight away, and we've got the ground floor in the blue outline. So most properties fit exactly one above the other, so we'll just trace on top and make sure it's the same layout. Of course, if your house had a smaller first floor, it's fine, just draw it as it needs to be, it doesn't need to fill that space. And likewise, you can get some peculiar houses where the first floor is bigger than the ground floor. It does happen, very uncommon, but when it does, you can draw the first floor bigger, and again, the system won't question you, it's just there as a guide, so draw it as it needs to be. So add room, let's pop in a landing to begin. I'm going to call it hallway. I could go landing, but because it's not overly huge, I'm going to select no name. And that essentially labels it as a hallway to the system, but so it's recognized as a real room, but by pressing no name, it doesn't have a wording appear within it. So it would just be the actual room as it's been drawn. The measurements appear for the rooms as you draw them. That's just as a reference, really. At the final screen, hallways and storage cupboards, the measurements won't be included. They'll be omitted at the next stage, which we'll cover as well. But yeah, just there as a reference while you're making the plan. So if we add room, let's draw bedroom 1. We'll go bedroom and call it number 1. So we've got these preset options 1 through 5. So you can freely click these for a very fast way of labeling the bedrooms. Very small thing, but a marginal gain nonetheless. It will take the seconds off, and collectively that will all add up. So add room again. Let's pop in an ensuite. We'll go bathroom, ensuite, and there we are. Now, if I want to make this right side of the ensuite an L shape to extend upwards, I can split the wall again by adding a dot. For those already familiar with Metropix, we still have the double click option, so I don't need to single click and split wall. I can double click and it just adds the dot straight away. So a nice time saver there, and drag that up. Okay, so we just need some doors. So put our door to bedroom 1, going to click the door, change the hinge side, going to add another door to the ensuite, and then we can start to put in our items. So let's say we've got a sink across there, a shower at the end, and then a loo in the corner. There we go. Add in a window, and there's our ensuite. Okay, second most common thing second most common thing is the ensuite within a bedroom. The first most common thing is a fitted wardrobe. So where they occur, you treat them as a small room. We add a room, left click and hold and draw the room as so. So go storage. Wardrobe is already there as a preset, so we can select that. And if we want to, we can make it a bit bigger as well. As I say, the wardrobe measurement appears just for reference. It won't be on the final plan, so don't worry about that for now. And then to finish, it needs a window in bedroom 1. I'm going to say we've got a window at 1.15 centimeters, and we've got another one as well. So rather than add a second window and then resize it, a really nice shortcut is I can hold Control on my keyboard. That's in the bottom left corner. Drag the other window, and you'll see that duplicates one at the exact same size. All of the symbols work in that way. So if you want to duplicate any of them, you hold Control and then drag the symbol. You would have noticed by now, if you're a previous user of Metropix as well, that the blue dot on the symbols has gone. So before you had this really small dot that you had to click. It got quite congested, especially in kitchens when you've got a base unit, a hob and a sink all in close proximity. Now you just click onto the symbol. You don't need, you've got all of that space to click. You don't need to pinpoint to a small dot. Likewise for the doors. The door is where the actual door closes. That's where you need to hit. But a nice little change there. Okay, so let's pop in a few more rooms. Add room again. Let's do bedroom 2 here. We'll go bedroom number 2. I'll pull this wall across to make a bit of a walkway. I could even pull that across as well, so the bedroom 2 is a bit bigger. Drag in a door. If we said that bedroom 2 has a bow window with a curve, there's 2 ways here. If it's the whole wall, we can click onto the wall and add curve. That bends the whole wall, and you can then drag that and pull it to any shape or any curve angle that you need, and you just release when you're happy with that. If you want to correct or cancel a curve rather, you click the wall, press straighten, and it's back to where it was before, so just a straight wall. In this case, it might be that part of the wall is curved, so I double click where it starts, double click where it finishes, and now I can click in the middle, add curve, and then just bend that middle part only. That's quite a common scenario that we'll see. But like I say, if you wanted to, you've got absolute control. So we'll curve the whole thing in this case. And then click on the window and add our window symbol. There we go. Add room again. Let's pop on bedroom 3. Go bedroom number 3, and there we are. Now, one little tip here, you can hold a wall. If I left click and hold on that wall, and I'm going to use the right key on my keyboard, and you'll see every time I nudge it, it moves in 1 centimeter at a time. When you're trying to drag with your mouse and your cursor, centimeter by centimeter, you've got really fine margins to work with. So sometimes just plonking the plan in place, clicking the wall and holding it, then using the arrow keys to move it 1 centimeter at a time. That's a really nice fallback to use actually. Very good for intricate movements. Add room again. Let's pop on the bathroom. And there we go. So we just need a little door to the bedroom 3, one to the bathroom, a window, and another window. And then within the bathroom section, the toilet and the sink are pretty standard, but you may need a bit more choice for a particular suite, so more symbols at the bottom. Bathroom, and everything here that we have within the bathroom fittings is available, so you just drag them on accordingly. So let's take our corner shower, and then we've got a rounded bathtub as well that can slide in there. Okay. We just need to put some stairs in on the first floor, so we hit stairs again. We've got our options here, so it could be a straight staircase that you add on. Drag that on and resize it, so you don't want it to overhang obviously into the bathroom. It doesn't need to show there, it just needs to go to the wall really. So that would be one way of doing it. If you click the stairs, you can delete them. I'm going to say we've got a turning staircase, so coming up at an L shape. I'm going to click onto that one and just make it a bit shorter, doesn't overlap the bathroom. And the same for the sides, let's bring that one in a bit. So it could be as long or as short as you need, so you've got that control. Let's say it's 3 steps, and there we are. Just while we're there, one of the great things about the stairs is that they work a bit like a Lego piece, or a Lego board, so you can put lots of Lego pieces alongside and join them all up. So you could place a staircase like that, and then another one to join onto it at the bottom as well. So it gets really, really flexible. So whenever you come across a really unique staircase, then we've got a way to make that work. So any problems with that, just give us a quick call and we can guide you through it. But over time, you'll see you can connect all of these shapes together. Page 2 has some more as well, more angle turns there, so you can add those in accordingly. Okay. A few other things to kind of just summarize on as well. We've got the ability to rename the room. So if you make a mistake at any point, you just click onto the room and it brings up this box again. So maybe that becomes master bedroom instead. So just to confirm you, that was a click of the room and you're back to this labeling box. So anytime you click inside a room, you can adjust that. So we get to the hallway, maybe we actually do want to put the landing name on. So we can call it landing there. Okay, a few new features as well. We have the ability to adjust internal and external walls. So let's take this bedroom 3/bathroom wall, we click it, and you've got the wall thickness here that you can set. So if you use the plus and minus keys, you can extend that accordingly. So really helpful when you've got these old country properties that have an enormously thick wall right through the middle of the house as a support, then you can just click onto it and adjust that accordingly to show the true depth. There is an option to apply to all as well, so you can set that to all internal walls. We don't quite want that today, so I'm going to bring that back down again. But then the same applies to external walls, so you can increase those, apply to all, and that will jump up for you. Okay. Once we're completed, we can move on to the final stages. One thing I'd recommend, as you're going to be one of the earliest people to be picking up the system, it is a brand new system. It's really prudent just to save your work as you go. So perhaps every 3-4 minutes, just hit the save icon, that floppy disk, and it will then save your work. Just as a safety net, really, because it is such a brand new system, I would rather put safety first. The likelihood is you won't need to use that save mechanism as a fallback, but it's just protecting you in all cases, so it's well worth doing. So as I say, every now and again, just hit the save icon. That will save a copy to your unfinished plan, and you carry on drawing. So you're fully covered. Okay, so once we have completed the floor plan, we can press plan complete on the top corner. That's the tick. And here you'll find a few options. So firstly, we've got the address at the top. I'm going to change that very quickly and just call it Test Road because I don't want it to muddle up on the plan bank with real properties in that area. And the property description, we can label that as we need. So I'm going to put marketed by Metropix, which is one way you might want to use it. Others use the address or a caption about the property. Whatever you put here will appear on the final plan. So I'll show you that at the end as well. Okay, floor areas, we've got the total at 92.50 square meters. That's what the system has calculated for us. That's based on our drawings alone. You can click into this middle section and then type in your own as you would like it to appear. So maybe it's 100 square meters, so you can key that in. Or don't show. If you press don't show, it wipes off the floor area automatically for all the floors. So let's keep it on in this case. While you're here, if you want to have that absolute control, you can go onto the ground floor and you can tweak the sizes shown here. So 46.50, for example, and it then updates the overall size. So it does do the calculation for you as well. Also, you can opt out of showing the floor area for a single floor. You may or may not want to, but it exists there as a feature for you as well. Okay, the other options here, you can, for the room dimensions, you can tick this box to take all of the measurements out of the plan in one go. So if you wish to do so, you can just tap that button. All of the internal measurements that we see on the plan here will disappear, and you can press that button to turn it back on again. As so. And back on. You can also color the plan. So if you select color, it will then bring up the color preferences you have on your account. So mine's set to blue on the training system that I use. That can be any color you like. It might even be the generic colors where every room is a different color as well. So whichever setting you have on your account, when you tick color, that will appear automatically. The really great thing we've got on the new system is the ability to adjust your room labels. So you'll see across the plan, we've got a few labels available for every single room. So if we click onto one, so let's say the kitchen, you now have a few choices. You could adjust the width and the length of the room. So maybe that's not 3.17, it's 3.20. So we can just key that in as so. Living room, that should be 5.72, so we can get it spot on. If you need to, you may have drawn it spot on, but you can freely change them. But also within there, if I click on dining room, you'll see you get a font size for each room. So it's 40 as the default. Let's increase that to 50, just as an example. 40 works really well, but if you wanted to go higher, you can set to 50, and it then increases the font size of that room label. You can apply to all, and that updates everything in that floor for you. So go to bedroom 3 on the first floor, we'll increase that to 50, and then apply to all, and they jump up as well in size. If you wanted to, you can have the dining room really big, just make that one much bigger. Sometimes it's used when you've got like a small utility with the units and appliances in there, then you may want to make it a bit bigger to stand out. So you've got that absolute flexibility as well. Okay, so we can move the labels also. See that wardrobe? I can move that around inside that space. Likewise the other ones. I think the most important ones are the bathroom here, so I can move that so it's not clashing with the symbols. Even if it does, you can still read the label, but it just looks a bit smarter. It's moved across to the side. Ensuite, I might not want the measurement for that one because it's a small room. I click onto it, show measurement. If I press that as off, it takes out the measurement for the ensuite only. I can then move the label so it's central. Same for WC, measurement off. There we go. But I think the best example of moving the labels will be the entrance hall because in some cases they might overlap the stairs. Once more, it can still be read, it's still perfectly legible, but you can just move it down to make it look a bit clearer. And there we go. So you've now got real control over your floor plan. You can make the fonts bigger, you can move the position of the labels, and it's all very quick and easy to do. You'll be given the option to do it before you save the final plan. Once you're happy, you press next. And the final stage is the summary of the floor plan layout. Here you could move them around, so if you wanted to put them side by side, one above the other. This is in a landscape layout. You can hit portrait and it just moves down accordingly. Each time you press 1, it moves to that style. But the way it's really useful is I think you can adjust these yourself. So when you've got 3 or more floors, you might want 2 across and then 1 underneath, and really customize that layout. Maybe make the disclaimer a bit higher so it's more compact, and then the compass there as well. So you've got real control now over the final layouts that you have on your plans. So if you wanted to just line it up so the main walls are perfectly in keeping, then you can do that very, very easily. There we go. Once you're happy with that, we press finished. One of the brilliant things with Metropix as well is, well, the new version of Metropix is that the color processing is done in a second. It used to be about 30 seconds, but so is the final plan processing as well. So that was about 30 seconds also. Now that's coming through in about 4 seconds or so. So overall, you're saving around 55 seconds if you're a color user, and about 25 or so if you're just a 2D user, black and white 2D user as well. So and that's been the theme throughout. The way we've built it is we've looked to save seconds here and there. When you add all of that together, like the stairs as well, another quick one that we've introduced, all of these seconds add up to minutes, and that becomes multiple minutes. And over all the floor plans you do, that's a lot of time that you've managed to claw back, and you're being more efficient. You may want to spend it on an extra cup of coffee a day, but however you choose to use it, it's good that time is then yours again. You're spending less time to make your floor plans. So there's our finished plan. So we can press download. This will give us the final image that's ready to view and use. We can save that to our computer, of course, but if I zoom in, you'll see the quality is really good. These are high resolution files that we've got, so they are good for web and printed use as well. Very high quality. So you can see all of our labels are on there. The font size have increased. The dining room's a bit bigger because we've asked it to be. You've got your floor area below, and you've got the individual floor areas above underneath the respective labels. A disclaimer. So I didn't mention the disclaimer, but it just happens. It's there saying it's not to scale. It's for illustration only. Appliances haven't been tested. So it's a really comprehensive disclaimer, and it just happens every time. And then marketed by Metropix. So if you were choosing to add the description, that's where and how it would appear on the final plan. So there we are, there's our finished plan. If you have any questions at all, so our support team are ready to help with anything that might pop up. We've also very aware that it's a new system, so if you've got any feedback, suggestions, things you'd like to see added, then also come to our support team and report that firsthand. The team can be reached on support@metropix.com, or you can call us on 01184 672 800. So whatever the item is that you'd like to discuss, we'll be very welcoming and happy to hear it. and certainly available to help and resolve anything that you need assistance with. So this, as I say, is a brand new system, so among the very first users to use it, so we're very excited to have you on board and using the system. Hope you like it, but any support you need, just give us a quick call or an email. We'll be very happy to help. Thank you very much for watching.